Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Total War Attila Saxon Shore mod, not mod, just Saxon Shore Let's Play. So, we're starting with a fresh turn here, and what is going on? So there's a whole big rebellion happening over here. We need to choose a new research, first of all, so let's go ahead and do that. So, this is the only one left that's going to take 3 turns. We're getting Basket Weaver and Lime Maker out of that. That doesn't really seem like something that we need like really badly, so I'll probably pass on that. I might pass on that as well. The thing about Nordic Brigade versus Nordic Band is infantry, and I feel like Nordic Brigade might be cavalry, and that means they're going to be a lot more expensive, so it's not necessarily a bonus for me. Level 3 Trading and Fishing Wharf. Let's do this one, because I do want Warlords Hold and Chieftains Holds, so we're going to work toward that. What else do we have going on here? So eventually we'll need to upgrade this. We don't have any sanitation at the moment, and that's going to be a problem. So the thing is, like, it would make some sense to build it here because we have access to this 4th slot first, but we had to go with the Chieftain's Hall because we needed the heavier garrison there due to the fact that they constantly get hit here by ships. So it's just, I don't know. I could tear this down and build a sanitation building, but that seems like a waste at this point. But this is probably only going to get worse. I mean, it will. So total sanitation is -2, 3% outbreak chance, but knowing this game, it's probably a lot higher than that. What are you guys becoming? Horse raiders, and it'll basically double their cost for, it looks like, a small upgrade across the board, although they get slower. Yeah, I think I'd rather them be half the price and just slightly worse, but faster. That works for me. I have no need of super expensive cavalry that aren't really any better than these ones. So, what about you guys? Because they're not in our territory, they don't have the option to retrain. Is there anything here that might be useful? No. So let's keep marching this army north. Again, we're just going to inch kind of bit by bit toward Tusis here, trying to stay in fortified stance at every opportunity. I just want this the hell out of the way, thank you. Might have been better to go that way. Let's see, just kind of inch forward, make sure we have half movement left. I think we get a little bit more. That's probably close enough, because that puts us within striking distance on the next turn. And strike we will, because their army is nowhere to be seen. Oh wait, we can't. That's right, we can't because of Argentoratum. That needs to fall before we can subjugate them. So we might just sack it. Sack it and leave it. What else can we do here? Food is not really an issue. We have enough. Public order is only holding because we have an army here. If we move the armies, I should say. If we move them, public order will fall apart again. So to that end, I could upgrade this. That will boost the public order here by 1, also the growth by 2. Bigger garrison, which is nice, and it unlocks some other recruiting options for us, which we may have gotten from these. Yeah, we did. So that's not necessarily a bonus. A little bit more income from that, road development, help with trades and whatnot, but it's also going to boost our squalor, which is already not great here. It's actually pretty bad. So I don't know if that's really going to be of any immediate use to us. Steel Forge would be good too, but again, public order and squalor. In fact, this doesn't have any squalor, so for the time being, you should probably leave it be. I guess we won't be able to upgrade anything here, because I just don't have the ability to offset anything yet. Once we get this up to 5, which we're probably going to hit 4 on the next turn, I could build some sort of chieftain's hall here. That will help with public order, and then I could potentially tear this down in favor of sanitation buildings. Or once we get the next slot, I could throw down a I forget, I think it's like a grain store or something. I forget what the sanitation building for towns is in this culture, but it's like a grain store or something, and that would be useful as well because it gives us food and sanitation. I should probably convert that now. I think that's the only one we haven't converted yet. So we'll do that with our money. Public order here is just barely getting by, but there's no army here, so it's positive. Any little thing can sort of throw that off, but for now it's fine. Also, this Great Hall is getting built, so they're going to take a food hit, but get some more public order as well. And I guess I'm working toward the Hall of Elders here. I guess. Warlord's Keep. Hold on. I think the Warlord's Keep is like objectively better, unless we really care about research rate, which there are other ways to get research, especially given how common the training shield and the training gladius household items are. You can get 15 research rate pretty easily with that. So that might have been a mistake. I might end up converting that over here. But we'll definitely build this chain in the capital. It just makes more sense there. I guess to mix it up we can do this, whatever. It's fine. But yeah, we're getting less public order out of the deal, so 4 less, and then we're also losing out on the ability to recruit. It looks like for the most part it's the same: Hearthguard, Chosen, and Spears. Oh, they get heroic cavalry. Okay, well, I guess it's worth doing this just to have access to the heroic cavalry, because I don't think we would get that from anywhere else. No, so, okay, we'll do that then. I'm convinced. That does remind me, though, over here, we finished recruiting our Saxon spears as well as our Nordic pikes. I think I wanted to add something else to the army here. Let's see. Those are the better spears with the chainmail, I believe. So it might be worth getting rid of these guys in favor of these, just because they're a little bit more durable. Yeah, armor is 40 versus 18. Health is 97 versus 100. Because also attack better, interestingly enough. Melee defense is a little bit better here. But yeah, I've got to say, these guys seem objectively better. They're slower, but you don't really need speed out of the spear unit. So, sorry, Saxon spears, but for the money, these guys are better. These guys are just more mobile, but I don't really need that. I just need a unit to hold down the flanks next to my pikemen, and these guys are more than capable of that. So let's cut you loose, and we'll train up 2 of these. That's all I can afford. Let's jump into our faction politics here. And I would really love to demote you and use up some of that influence, but I can't really afford to take that public order hit right now. He's getting +5 from being here. If I demote him to an elder, it's all gone. So I kind of just have to wait and hope he doesn't pull something shitty with that influence. He's got another +5 here too. Let's see, do any of you guys need to be moved around? Doesn't look like it. You're doing fine there as well. How old are you, by the way? 30? How old is she? 11? Because when she comes of age, we can actually, rather than adopting these guys, we can actually have her marry one of them. And so that's a nice option if there's somebody here you want to bring into your family, but you don't necessarily want to adopt. But she's still very young, so that's a ways off. And these guys are all fairly old. So it probably won't be any of these. Although he's a dignitary. That's a pretty good trait for a governor. I don't really need a governor, though, is the thing. I've already got 2, and I probably won't be the owner of any more provinces, so I don't know if that'll help. And then diplomacy, Caledonians have finally... Oh, I need to throw some more money their way.
Are you brave or foolish?
Yeah, not
or
going to
just
happen.
mad?
So I don't have
Well,
enough money
speak.
to
I
give
will
them a gift
listen
this turn.
before
We'll
I
have to do
turn
that
you
on the
inside
next turn.
out.
But I definitely need to give them some money before our relations fall too far off. And once we get around the neutral mark, which we're approaching, or we were approaching, we'll be able to trade with them, which will help sort of get us there without constantly throwing money at them. Our relations with these guys are falling off extremely quickly, so that's going to be a problem. Looks like we're deteriorating with the Utes as well, but much more slowly, and we already have a pretty good relation with them, so it's going to take a while. And that's really it. We're kind of running out of friends here. The Franks continue to grow in terms of relation, and I was really hoping that they could take Argenturatum to help me out against the Picts, but they are really slacking on that front. Probably because the Lombards are threatening to take their capital. But I mean, honestly, it's not that big a deal. If they lose that, then they can just basically move their main operations to France, and it should be fine. And one of my goals in this playthrough is to help them kind of conquer France, since I have a pretty nice little thing going up here. I don't really need to take any of mainland Europe, and so I could help them do it. And as long as we're allied, I will benefit from that. So let's go ahead and end our turn. Okay, so here we are. It looks like our agents are continuing to move. I'm pretty sure I told them exactly where to go, so yeah, we should be able to just kind of let that play out without micromanaging it too much. It looks like the Franks are taking attrition because they're marching around in the middle of nowhere. I don't know why they are refusing to take this, but it would be nice if they did. Oh, good. So our fearless leader is now a smooth talker, and we're going to get plus 10 from our trade agreements, plus 10% income, that is. So that'll be helpful. Our construction complete in Efwich, and we've encountered Hispania. So let's see. We're not going to be able to really move around much here because it is winter. Nothing's really changed here. We didn't even hit 4. I thought for sure we'd get 4. But it looks like it'll roll over on the next turn. This guy has leveled up. Let's see. Are any of these going to boost research? Lowers mercenary recruitment costs. So yeah, these wooden swords, they're like a dime a dozen. You get a bunch of them. And if you give one of these to like every general and governor, whatever, statesman, you can boost your research pretty considerably just through these. And there's a shield that is similar, but it does something else as well. It's like plus 3 or plus 5% research, and there's like one other little thing that it does. But for now, I'll just give that to him because he's kind of sitting around. I want you to have more influence. Bejeweled mincers, we can basically double that. This is only for civil, though. That one's only for military. Okay. For military buildings, religious influence. I'll take that, because as we go around conquering, we can kind of spread the word of our religion, and that might help. And I guess I'll give that to you because I think the other army is more or less built. So let's go into diplomacy before I forget, and we're gonna throw some money at the Caledonians since we're going back into the red with them. So it's gonna cost me 1263 to get that moving back in the right direction. And it says minus 21 to minus 12. That'll probably taper off well before that, but it'll get us closer to where we want to be. I doubt they'll trade with me, but it's always worth checking. No. That's deteriorating, and they never wanted to trade with me before, so yeah. Figured as much. And there's really not a whole lot else to do. We don't know of too many factions that don't hate our guts. What do you have against me? Oh, you're formerly Roman, that's what. Alright, well, that's about all we can do there. Could upgrade this. Let's see. We have a similar issue here. Is squalor is becoming a problem, but I have to wait until we're at growth 7 before, or population 7 before I can do these. Huh. Damn. Well, I don't think there's a lot I can do in the meantime. Was this going to boost Squalor? No. That will give us a bit of public order, though, which would be nice. Go ahead and do that. And I guess I'll have to wait, but eventually I want to upgrade these to the, or I guess I can do one of them. So we're going to upgrade them to the better Nordic Spearmen. For another 43 gold per turn, it's definitely worth it, because they get a lot more durable. Actually, not as much as I would have thought. But better defense, better armor, a little bit better health, better morale. Their attack goes down, interestingly enough, but their charge bonus goes up. So kind of interesting. Not as much of a straightforward upgrade as I would have thought. Although, I think the biggest thing here is they get the ability to spear wall, where these guys don't. And I think that's probably the main... I would pay 43 gold a turn just for that ability. And it looks like you've leveled up. So let's go there, and... I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Take that. Okay, so I'm out of money. Armies can't really move this turn because it is winter and we'll take attrition. So even if I just move them to attack there, we would take attrition. Also not worth it because, again, until this is no longer held by the Picts, I can't subjugate them. So I'm really relying on the Franks there, but they are letting me down big time. Let me make sure that none of you need to be reappointed. I'm pretty sure I already checked that. Yeah, okay. Well, that's fine for now. I still need you to find you a wife, man. It's probably too late at this point. Oh well. So one thing I'm going to do before we end our turn here is I'm going to basically clear the target here. And I'm just going to reset it to see if I can get them to mobilize toward it. Because I really want them to go take that. And eventually I'd like them to take this from the Abdanians as well. Actually, they have two down here now? Damn. They're starting to expand into France, and that's going to be a real problem for us. Alright, well, I think that's going to be it for this turn. Oh, apparently the king leveled up as well. When did he get fearful? That's news to me. You are a governor, so... Let's see here. If I do that, that'll unlock this, which gives me an additional recruitment slot. And gets me a little bit closer to legend. However, this would give me free food. Let's do that, and let's do that. So we'll get some authority. But this isn't particularly, you know, interesting, or... I'm not, like, super keen to get that for him, other than just to unlock this one, because... an additional recruitment slot, it's like, okay, whatever. But we're going to need to get all of this, which doesn't really provide us any benefit as a governor, before we can get this one. So I'll probably just start throwing individual points in there, so we'll need, like, what? 1, 2, 3 more levels before we can get this. So on the third one, I'll probably take this. Or maybe on the next one, I'll throw it in here, since these are all throwaways anyways. It doesn't really matter. Right, so let's end our turn. Okay, so apparently we failed this quest here. Not really worth 1,000 gold to go to war with a fairly strong faction, so I'm not too broken up over it. It looks like Wine's term in office has ended. That's actually perfect, because we didn't want to have to lower his office or demote him to use up his influence. Now we can spend it to put him back in the same position. It looks like somebody might be ordained as a bishop, potentially one of my generals. Okay. Well, generals are kind of a dime a dozen, especially ones that haven't seen any combat, so I don't mind getting rid of him. It looks like he gained a household item. Our Great Hall is finished, fantastic, and one of our agents has been exposed. So you... I don't know what I was planning to do with you, to be honest, just kind of scouting the area. Your job is to convert them to Christianity. Arian Christianity, that is. And then you were to be heading to the Franks to do the same, and it looks like you didn't quite make it. So figure that out, whatever you gotta do. So this, yeah, probably not going to see too many changes here for a while, just because until the growth is high enough for me to do something, I'm kind of stuck. This is giving me additional growth, though, yeah. Okay, cool. Up here, though, we did just finish this building, and that should give us, it should have given us more public order. It doesn't appear to have, unless we lost it from something else. Well, let's handle this junk, and then I think we'll call it a day. So, oh, it's just a different guy with the same name. I thought they were talking about my general. So you are going to get reappointed to judge, and that'll use up a bit of your influence, although you seem to have put together quite a bit, which is worrying. Let's see. You're still tribal chief, but that's going to end next turn. It's unfortunate. Right, so let's handle this. Let's see. Do you agree? This man is not ready for this honor. He has too much work to do. We should try to increase our candidates' chances. Let's just await the result. They might be talking about him after all. I don't know, to be honest. Let's just see what happens. Because if it is him, I could care less if he gets, you know, picked up. I'll just recruit one of these guys and make them general instead. You are general, right? Yeah. And if it's not, then, well, I guess nothing happened. So, whatever. Okay. So, with that, I guess let's upgrade these 3 before I forget and spend that money on something else. Let's see how the Caledonians are doing. It's deteriorating again already. So it only went up 1 point before it started to fall off again. So let's throw another gift their way. And this one's going to be even more expensive. There we go. And what's that going to do? 20 to minus 13. So it won't even take us as far, or it's not even saying it's going to take us as far as it did last time. And that is keeping in mind that it was supposed to go from 21 to 12, negative 21 to negative 12, and it only went to negative 20 before it turned around again. So, not going to get us very far. We'd really like to set up a trade agreement with them, because again, that will solve some of these issues. But it's just not going to happen until we get it further. So I've got a little bit more money to spend on, I guess, more troops or something. We'll figure it out. And then, now that winter is over, I can march these guys over here to begin besieging this. But again, with Argenturatum still existing under Pictish control, it's not going to do much for me. Again, other than just like, you know, I guess we can go ahead and sack it real quick. I don't think that'll be a problem. There's nobody here to defend it other than the regular garrison, so this should be pretty straightforward. We don't even need to wait because we do have our own artillery. So let's go ahead and... Is that the expensive one, by the way? It might be. Let's go ahead and auto-resolve this assault. And we'll just do a balanced stance. And we'll fast forward through that. Down they go. We lost a little bit of men, but their garrison was wiped out. And I don't want to do anything other than sack it and take some money. Again, I don't have any land in this province, so the instability is not going to affect me, so I can continually sack this as much as I want. And then we'll have you guys duck back across the border. It looks like you can't quite fortify, so just hang out there and recover a bit, and I'll send you back in a little bit. That did level you up, though. So let's see. I'll take this and this, and we'll see if that gave you enough for maybe an upgrade later. Yeah, possibly. So we'll see, but he has 20 influence now, which might be enough to get him, no, 24. So we'll be a little bit short. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, we're going to leave it here. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Total War Attila with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.